Dear students, we have already finished one prose, 3 questions, one poem on killing a tree. We have discussed the prose piece in detail. We have discussed the poem. I have sent you the SAQs and the long questions, and a test will be organized and you will take a test next Monday. Now, we should give a little attention to another aspect of our syllabus, that is the play. In our syllabus, there is a play. The name of the play is The Proposal. What is meant by the word proposal? Proposal, as you know, suggestion, prastav. The name of the play is The Proposal, written by Anton Chekhov. Now, before starting reading this play, we should have an idea about Chekhov as a writer. Chekhov is a Russian writer. He was born in Russia. He died at the tender age of 44. But within this short span of life, he was acclaimed as one of the greatest writers of the world. Chekhov was not only a great playwright, he was also one of the greatest short story writers of the world. Many short stories written by Chekhov have become world famous. For example, Ward Number 6, The Lady with the Dog, Darling, The Schoolmaster, The Schoolmistress, The Death of a Clerk, The Mask. These are some of the very famous short stories written by Chekhov. Now, actually, Chekhov used satire to win the hearts of his readers. What is satire? The word satire means the use of humor to expose the stupidity of people. Humor বা ব্যঙ্গের মাধ্যমে মানুষের বিভিন্ন মূর্খামি তার পরিচয় তুলে ধরা, to bring out different drawbacks of society, সমাজের বিভিন্ন খারাপ দিককে তুলে ধরা. This type of writing is called satire. When did Chekhov write? Because if you want to understand a writer, you must also understand the age in which he is writing. লেখককে বুঝতে গেলে তার যুগকে বুঝতে হবে. Chekhov belonged to pre-revolutionary Russia. Pre-revolutionary. The word pre, the prefix pre means before. Pre-revolutionary means before the revolution. You know that in 1917, a great revolution shook the world. পৃথিবীকে কাঁপিয়ে দিয়েছিল 1917 সালের রুশ বিপ্লব. It brought about a great change in society. The Russian society was transformed, was changed from a feudal one to a socialist one. সামন্ততান্ত্রিক সমাজ পাল্টে হলো সমাজতান্ত্রিক সমাজ. Which age did Chekhov belong to? Chekhov died before 1917. Chekhov died a few years before the revolution. So Chekhov belongs to the pre-revolutionary era of Russian society. তিনি বিপ্লব পূর্ব যুগের মানুষ. Naturally, in his writings, we find the reflections of the pre-revolutionary society of Russia. বিপ্লব পূর্ব যুগের রুশ সমাজ ব্যবস্থার ছবি ফুটে ওঠে শেখভের লেখায়. Now, if we read the short stories, we will find it. If we read the plays of Chekhov, we will find it there also. In fact, a question is often asked in the higher secondary exam. Which aspect of the Russian society do you find in Chekhov's play The Proposal? Chekhov's নাটকে রুশ সমাজ ব্যবস্থার কোন ছবি ফুটে উঠেছে? To answer this, we should understand the character, the nature of Russian society when Chekhov was writing. As I have already said, it was a feudal setup. You know what is meant by feudalism. That means large tracts of land were owned by the landowners. জমিদারদের হাতে সব জমি. The farmers had no rights. কৃষকের কোনো অধিকার নেই. And they had to work for the landowners. After the revolution, this feudal society changed into a socialist one. সমাজ পাল্টে হয়ে গেল সমাজতান্ত্রিক বিপ্লবের পরে. In a socialist society, there is no private ownership of land. কোনো ব্যক্তিগত মালিকানা থাকে না সমাজতান্ত্রিক সমাজে. The landowners disappeared. The land belonged to the society. জমি সমাজে সবার. There was no landowner, no farmer, nothing. Everyone had equal rights. প্রত্যেকেরই সমান অধিকার. But that was after the revolution. But in Chekhov's play, we will not find this picture of the society. Rather, we will find a picture of the feudal society in Chekhov's plays. In Chekhov's stories also. For example, the death of a clerk tells us about the sorrowful demise of a clerk, how he died in a feudal society. একজন কেরানি কিভাবে মারা গেল সমাজ এই সামন্ততান্ত্রিক সমাজে, তারই গল্প The Death of a Clerk. Using satire, actually Chekhov exposes the drawbacks of the feudal society. The schoolmaster, the schoolmistress, the lady with the dog, the mask. In all his stories, Chekhov depicts the pre-revolutionary Russia. Chekhov was a great short story writer. He was called the master. এটাই তাকে বলা হতো the master. As a short story writer, he is one of the greatest of the world. But such is his genius, or such was his genius, that he is also one of the leading playwrights of the world. পৃথিবীর শ্রেষ্ঠতম নাট্যকারদেরও একজন Chekhov. He wrote some very famous plays like Uncle Vanya, The Three Sisters, The Seagull. These are some of the very famous plays written by Chekhov. Stanislavski, the great director who directed the plays of Chekhov, has told us that Chekhov's characters sometimes say something, but we must not have a literal meaning of the utterance. তারা যা বলছে তার আক্ষরিক মানেটা না নিয়ে we should read between the lines. That means we have to feel what the characters want to express. Only dialogues will not help us to realize Chekhov's plays. As I have already said, Chekhov died at a very tender age. He died at the age of 44 years. But before that, he was acclaimed as one of the greatest short story writers and playwrights of the world. Now, our play The Proposal is not the greatest of Chekhov's writing, but it is a satire. It was first staged in 1890. It is a short play. It has only one act. It is a one-act play. Ekanko natok. What is an act? A play is generally divided into several parts, and each part is called an act. This is a short play, so it has only one act. And there are only three characters: Lomov, Chubukov, and Natalia. Through this play, Chekhov depicts one aspect of the feudal society. তিনি সামন্ততান্ত্রিক সমাজের একটা দিক তুলে ধরেছেন. In a feudal society, marriage is looked upon as a means of economic development. সামন্ততান্ত্রিক সমাজে বিবাহকে দেখা হয় অর্থনৈতিকভাবে আরো ভালো জায়গায় যাওয়ার একটা উপায় হিসেবে. Actually, marriage should be based on love. Marriage should be based on the likes and dislikes of the bridegroom and the bride, but not in a feudal society. In a feudal society, everything is judged in terms of money. marriage is looked upon as a means, বিবাহকে দেখা হয় একটা উপায় হিসাবে, to gain economic stability. And with the help of this satire, Chekhov actually ridicules this notion of marriage in a feudal society. সামন্ততান্ত্রিক সমাজে বিবাহ নামক প্রতিষ্ঠানটিকে ব্যঙ্গ করেছেন Chekhov. Actually, Chekhov does not ridicule marriage as an institution. তিনি বিবাহ এই ব্যাপারটাকে সমালোচনা ব্যঙ্গ করেননি. Actually, he ridicules the feudal concept. এই সামন্ততান্ত্রিক ধারণাটাকে বিদ্রূপ করেছেন, that marriage is not based on the personal likes and dislikes. Marriage is not based on love. Rather, marriage is looked upon as a means for economic stability. This idea is ridiculed. এই ধারণাটাকে ব্যঙ্গ করা হয়েছে. So this is an introduction about the play. Now we will start the play.